Before we begin cooking, always get parent permission and do it under their supervision. You want to gather all of your ingredients from the peppers, the onions. Make sure you wipe off your cans. And then gather all of your equipment before you begin cooking. Pots, pans, knives, cutting boards, and mixing spoons and ladles and serving dishes. So that way you're well prepared before you begin cooking. We refer to that as mise en place. As we've been talking about the 6 essential nutrients, we've talked about carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals, fats, proteins, and water. And so in front of you are different examples of carbohydrates from the beans, the tomatoes back there, the canned tomatoes, and then even our fresh vegetables that we have here. We have kidney beans in this big container. We have navy bean. These are navy beans. These are cannellonis. These are black beans, and these are pintos. We have some red onion and some red and orange peppers and some jalapeno peppers and fresh garlic, and then ground beef and the spice blend that I've created for our 5-bean chili. All of this is going to provide us with a balanced meal in terms of having something that's balanced and in proportion, and we're going to meet all of our essential nutrients. So we're going to begin the process of making our 5-bean chili. And so what we're going to do is add our ground beef to our pan. And one of the good things I like about what we're using is called the induction cooktop. This is a piece of technology that has been available for probably about the last 20 years or so. When I was growing up, we didn't have these, but now they're readily available. Wash my hands after touching the ground meat. And we're going to cook this until it becomes brown, or sometimes we refer to meats becoming grayish. To our meat, while it's cooking, we're going to add some of our spice blend. In our spice blend, we have chili powder, paprika, some pepper flakes, some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper, and a little cumin. Cumin's going to give it a nice smoky feel, and it's almost like making our own chili mix that you would buy in the package from the grocery store. So we're going to sprinkle about 2 teaspoons of this into our pan. And we're going to continue to cook and brown our meat. As you see, the meat is starting to brown, and you can actually smell some of those seasonings cooking in the meat. And we're still going to kind of break up the meat using our wooden spoon. Now we are making chili, so this is going to be a long process. We're going to cook this for about an hour and a half slowly until we have a nice finished product. Now you may have noticed on the ground beef package it said 93% beef and 7% fat, so that means 70% of this in this pot right now is the fat that they've added to the ground beef in order to keep it moist. So we're not going to have to actually drain the fat out of here because there's not a lot, and we're going to use that fat to cook our veggies and beef so we can build more flavors. So now we're going to add our red onions to the pan, and make sure we get all those onions out. And the reason why I use red onions and I vary my colors, because with varied colors you're getting different vitamins and nutrients when you vary the colors of your products. So we have our red onions and our red peppers in here, and it just gives our product a nice vibrant color as we cook it, so that way it's not just really dull. We're adding our orange peppers, and these are sweet, these aren't hot. And then I'm also going to add the hot peppers at this point too. And what I would teach my culinary students was every time that we add something new to the pot, we want to adjust the seasonings. So we're going to add additional seasonings to the pot at this point. So we come back to our spice blend, and we're going to add some more spices to it. So that way we're building flavor. So that was about 1 teaspoon, and that was the 2nd teaspoon. And then we're going to allow our veggies to kind of slowly cook for a little bit to kind of build those flavors into the ground beef as well. And then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients to build our chili. I wish you guys could be here so you could smell this aroma. So now you'll notice in our chili, our onions and garlic are starting to get translucent, which means that they're becoming clear. We're starting to develop brown bits on the bottom of our pan, which is what we refer to as being fond, which is flavor. It creates flavor, and that's what exactly the things that we want in our dish. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes to our pan. And these are our diced tomatoes. And they're going to help just pull up some of that browning in the pan. And we'll get that flavor from off the bottom of the pan, that fond. And we're going to go ahead and start reducing our temperature on our pan, because we're going to start cooking low and slow at this point so that everything starts to meld together. We're going to add our kidney beans, our cannellini beans, our navy beans. Go ahead and stir that into the pan. Our pinto beans and our black beans. So now we have 5 beans, and you can do this vegetarian if you want. You could replace the ground beef with a meat substitute. You can also put sweet potatoes in here instead of the beef, and be a nice little sweet potato and bean chili. And then we're going to add some tomato sauce to this to kind of give it some body. And because I like my chili brothy, I'm going to add some water to this. So I'm going to take my can and add water. I've added my water to it, and then I'm adding my last can of tomato sauce as well. And then I'm going to finish it up with my last little bit of seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of this. This is about 2 more teaspoons of our spice blend. And now at this point, we're just going to let it slowly simmer for the next 1.5 hours to develop and build those flavors. While our chili is simmering, I'm going to place a lid on top of our pan. And then while it's simmering, I'm going to finish cleaning up my kitchen, because the idea is to clean as you go. So that way you don't have a lot of dishes at the very end of the cooking process. So just remember, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin cooking, always get permission from parents and make sure you cook under their supervision. And happy cooking. So the chili is starting to come to a boil, and that's what we want, but we want it to be a small, soft boil, not a rapid boil. When it becomes rapid, then we lose the quality of our stew. Serve your chili with crackers or some cornbread, a little cheese, a little sour cream. Enjoy your dish and enjoy your dinner.